Hey, what's up everyone? Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye here, and as you see, I'm lapelled up today with a lav mic because I want to test out something called the Saramonic wireless kit system. It's the Saramonic SR-WM4C. It comes with a transmitter, a receiver, and you do wireless audio with it, so that way you don't have anything linked to the camera, you don't have to worry about syncing. But I'm here to just do a review of it. So throughout this entire review, I have the transmitter right here on my side, and the receiver is going to be picking it up. So whatever you're hearing throughout this entire review is going to be the mic. So if it cuts out, you're going to hear about it if there's feedback or just anything of that sort. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, how much it costs, and just to give you some kind of examples of everything. If you haven't heard of Saramonic, they make a lot of wireless type microphones and devices of audio. And when you get this package, it's packaged very, very well. As you'll see, I'll unbox everything here so you could see it. You get everything that you need. It's not hard to set up. It just needs AA batteries. It says it needs AAA, but it's actually AA batteries, just something a little bit newer. Has the antennas, it has the transmitter, the receiver, and all the cords that you need. So the only thing and the antennas, the only thing you physically have to supply are the batteries. Other than that, you are set to go. And it's priced very well for everything that you get. And I'm going to say the price early because I think it's priced well for what it is. It's essentially like 89 or 90 bucks that you can find on Amazon or their site. I'll link that down below. But I want to get my hands on these because there's expensive like options from like Rode and everything out there for like $400 or $500. So what are more budget friendly but hopefully sound great options? With this system, you essentially get something that mounts the cold shoe of your camera, and that gets, you know, a belt clip for yourself, so that way you can mount the lav. And it has a little XLR input lav right here. It's omnidirectional. It already comes with a windscreen and the clip, or tie clip as they like to call it, and it's plug and play at that point. There's pretty much two switches that you need to know, showing you here as well. It has 4 channels that it can go through, so that way if there's maybe interference or something on one of them, you could switch channels, I think A through D, and then it just has the power on and off switch, especially on the transmitter. Everything's simple to use. The only difference you'll see on the actual receiver is that it has the mount that you can mount it onto your camera, and that it has the audio cord that you mount from the audio option on top of it to the side of your camera to your mic input. So you have to have a mic input for this to work. And judging from the quality of it up close, I'll cover the distance and range it says. It actually sounds pretty well from the testing I've done. And after I shoot this video, I'm gonna go back to see if there were any dropouts and give you my final thoughts of this. As obviously I'm very close to the camera, but in doing some of these range tests, it says it can do up to 60 meters, which is like 196 feet, and that before it will cut out. I actually did a video outside, which I'll show you right now, where I stood in front of my apartment and just walked across the street to see how far it went. So I don't know, let's just roll it right here. You'll see what I mean. I'm going to test the range distance with this. Essentially, I'm going to go by the school and by that orange cone and just talk as we go along, cut, see how it sounds. Obviously, I'm not going to know how it sounds until we actually do it. So let's just talk, let's just have some fun. I'll keep moving back a little bit. Hopefully I'm still in frame a little bit, but you know, I did a couple test things. It sounded pretty good. The wireless system sounded pretty crisp and clean, but you never know. As you're seeing this footage, you see I went just a little bit of ways from the camera, and it's very practical, that distance, and I was trying to mention anything further than that before the audio actually cut out, was that anything past that's really extreme, but it's also not 60 meters like they claim. I'm not sure the exact length, but you've kind of seen the distance. So I walked just a little bit past that. You saw the audio drop out. I walked all the way across the street to that orange cone, and there was absolutely no audio, no even cutting in and out or anything of that sort. The range test wasn't as successful as they say with the 60 meters, but it shouldn't really be a deterrent unless you're doing something pretty extreme. Then you spend a little more money and get something else. But for this distance, for YouTube or interviews that are not that far away, I think the system works pretty much fine. Once again, I'll give you my final verdict after I shoot everything and import it. That way I can officially hear it. So for this system's lightweight portability, it really only uses the 4 batteries, 2 AA for the transmitter and receiver. It's just very easy to set up. I mean, I wish the antennas were a little bit smaller. They are a little bit long, but the casings are plasticky, but they are pretty much what a lot of things are. It's just very easy to set up. The battery door is a little bit hard to take out at times, but you get past that. I mean, you're not spending an arm and a leg on this thing, and that's pretty much the point. The fact that you can, on the receiver, that you can monitor the audio with the headphone jack, even though it will display the levels, the audio levels on your camera, I think it's phenomenal as well. You have volume controls on both, and you have an LED light to know if it's on green or if it's off, so that way you know 100% if it's working. Compared to other things out there, that you don't necessarily know. I had a chance to check what I just shot and everything just to see how the mic reacted, including a little bit of hitting fabric. I kind of did that a little intentionally. So overall, I think that for $90, it's actually not a bad mic system whatsoever. Once again, it's wireless. You don't have to worry about syncing anything. Just once again, watch the fabric and everything and how that reacts. It does sound a little bit boxy, but compared to the on-camera audio or something that you want to use, I think it's a great option, something better, something a little bit more professional sounding. If it was a little bit more expensive, I would say probably look at something else, but for 90 bucks, I think it's a great option. And once again, it's very easy to set up, wireless antenna system. It's all just very simple to do right out of the box. As you've seen, you just hook on the two antennas, you mount the one to your clip, good to go. It has everything that you need. I would say definitely check it out. If you want to do something like this, YouTube-wise, or something set up and you want to spend $200 for a shotgun mic or something like that, a wireless system, even if you wanted to do interviews, I felt that, that these didn't cut out or anything like that. If it did, and as I go back and review this, I'll obviously leave a note. But, just from the testing that I've heard, it doesn't sound that bad. I would recommend definitely looking into this. If you guys or girls have any questions about this product, please let me know down below. So the Saramonic wireless mic system is, pretty good in my opinion. It could be a little bit better range-wise, and maybe just a touch more consistent, especially when you first started out. So I'd say maybe let it roll a minute or two so that way it can connect and get the frequency and everything. But the functionality of it, the thing that you get, an LED battery light to know if it's actually on or not compared to some of the cheaper ones out there. You get 4 channels of frequency, which you could test out, just make sure, if the receiver's on A, the transmitter's on A, etc. I just think it's, a very simple system to use.